Hi there. I want to say a few words today in the Colour Me Safe range about staying safe in our sexuality. And I want to speak primarily, but not wholly, to women and regarding our sexuality and remaining safe. And the Colour Me Safe range is really to get us to focus on our own responsibility to keeping us safe and focusing on not disempowering ourselves by handing over that responsibility to someone else, but remaining empowered in our ability to protect our life at every level, whether it's emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically and sexually. So today we're focusing on how to remain sexually safe and protected in that area. And one of the ways that we can often compromise ourselves sexually, I've got another video over there called Sex and Compromising, you might want to have a look at. One of the ways in which we can, as human beings, compromise our sexuality and sometimes our safety is through actually trying to gain validation and affirmation through having sex with other people, and to sometimes build up our ego, our self-esteem and our confidence through another person, rather than having a strong sense of self, gaining that validation from ourselves and from other people appropriately, and having our own validation of ourselves, validating ourselves, affirming ourselves appropriately, and gaining from that inner light, that inner source that we have, that inner essence, drawing from that, rather than trying to gain energy from other people, whether it's through attention, whether it's through sex, whether it's through an emotional relationship. And sometimes we even try to gain that validation through our career, our work, or how much money we have, or what sort of material possessions we have. You know, if we have a big car or a big house or whatever, rather than developing ourselves from an authentic level. And personal development is about authenticity, really. You know, because we need to develop from a real place within us. We need to develop that core, our soul, our being on every level. So when we compromise ourselves through trying to gain validation from other people through sex, then we can potentially leave ourselves vulnerable to other people's agenda, because when we do that, we're handing over our power in a way. We're giving someone else the power to influence our own validation, or the power to influence our self-esteem, or our self-confidence, or our feelings of self-worth, by handing that power over to them and saying, here you are, whatever you tell me about myself is what I'm going to believe. And sometimes subconsciously that can happen. You know, we can do that. And most of us have done that to some degree or other at some point in our lives. Sometimes we don't do that all the time. Sometimes it's just in part. So today I wanted to highlight, as far as sexuality is concerned, to maintain a strong sense of self, maintain a strong sense of our own desirability, if you like, our own lovability, because that's something else we can try and gain through the sexual act with many people, is to gain that sense of being desirable and lovable. When so many people want me sexually, sort of think, I must be very lovable, very sexy, very desirable. And when we truly love ourselves and not in an authentic way, we don't need that validation from someone else as much, because we're already filled up with our own love, and we're already giving ourselves that validation and that love, and we don't need to draw it from other people on a consistent basis to validate and build ourselves up through attention seeking or giving ourselves sexually so that we have that validation continually. Because when we do that, we try and get that validation sexually from someone else, then if it's in a casual relationship, they're going to leave anyway, and you've got to do the process all over again with potentially an awful lot of people to continue to get that validation that you're not giving to yourself. And that could even undermine your sense of self, because not everyone is going to want to validate us when they meet us for whatever reason anyway. So it's a good idea to build up our own sense of self, build up our own sense of our own self-worth, focus on our own personal development, rather than handing the power to someone else to validate us through our sexuality, which is, after all, at the end of the day, just one aspect of us. It's not, we're not just sexual beings. We've got, we're multi-dimensional beings in that we've got many aspects to us. So I hope that helps someone out there. And as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.